Episode 12 of The Queen Who Crowns begins with the royal family distraught over the young prince's illness. Everyone does their best to manage palace affairs in the queen's absence and improve the prince's condition, but despite their efforts, he ultimately succumbs to his illness. While all his family members gather to bid him a final farewell, the crown prince is away on a hunting trip. Upon his return, he finds his family grieving their loss, and the king tearfully reprimands him for his absence. Later, after fulfilling his brother's last rites, the crown prince breaks down in tears. After momentarily recovering from her grief, the queen meets with the crown prince to discuss his deposition. He accepts it without hesitation, vowing to maintain a good relationship with his younger brother and encouraging the king to name him, the future Sejong, as the next heir to the throne. Although the crown prince is deposed, the king initially decides to name his eldest son as the next in line. However, the queen arranges a meeting between the former crown prince and the king in her chamber, where the former crown prince urges his father to consider his brother as the rightful successor. He reaffirms his loyalty to his younger brother and promises never to repeat the mistakes of the past. Finally, the future Sejong is appointed crown prince. Many years later, he ascends the throne as a just and wise ruler. Meanwhile, the king and queen retire to the countryside, away from palace politics. As they prepare to return to the city where they grew up, the queen falls ill with malaria. She gives the king a letter she had written when she left the palace after Pansu's death, reaffirming her love for Bangwon, regardless of his status as a king. The king attempts to fulfill the queen's wish to visit their native home, but she is too ill to travel. Instead, they bring the queen back to the palace so that the king may bid her farewell in a manner befitting someone who played such a vital role in shaping the nation. The episode ends with the queen's death, as she watches Sejong don a mask and dance for her one last time. The final scene reveals how, despite being one of the most influential figures in Korean history, Queen Wonjeong's name was never officially recorded in history. This episode, spanning the final days of Queen Wonjeong's life, is perhaps the most beautiful and heartbreaking installment of the series. The finale highlights that The Queen Who Crowns is not merely a story about the birth of a nation and its evolution, but rather the tale of a nameless queen, one of the most influential figures in Korean history, who was never granted an official place in recorded history. The emotional weight of the episode is further intensified by the realization that a queen who sacrificed so much, her husband to the throne, her closest friend to royal politics, her family for the good of the nation, and her son to illness, was ultimately denied even a mention in official records. This poignant revelation, emphasized by the episode's closing remarks, deepens the impact of the story and provides a cathartic conclusion to the life of a noble queen. Moreover, the finale's breathtaking cinematography and powerful performances elevate the episode further. Cha Ju-young delivers an exceptional portrayal of Wonjeong, while Lee Hyun-wook as Bangwon and Lee Jun-young as the adult King Sejong shine, especially in the emotionally charged closing sequence where Sejong dances as Wonjeong takes her last breath. Overall, this was a deeply satisfying and emotionally resonant finale.